My name is Tamsen Rochat. I'm a Chief Research Specialist at the Human Sciences Research Council in South Africa, and I'm part of the technical expert team that supports the coalition around science and evidence. HIV is not coming to an end. The epidemic is definitely evolving. We acknowledge that, so we've had huge successes. Prevention of mother-to-child transmission programs have prevented infections. We have fewer infected children. But as the epidemic evolves, different problems arise. So those HIV-infected mothers are now having uninfected children, and they need support to parent as a person living with HIV. We're starting to see some warning signs that we really should pay attention to. We see a second generation of risk in adolescents born to HIV-infected mothers. So we have to be thinking what else needs to be added to these great successes to ensure that we don't replicate the HIV epidemic in another generation. So I think thinking about where we've evolved to, I think priority areas for us have to be supporting parents to communicate and educate their own children, taking prevention to the household, and making sure that we're empowering people living with AIDS to have an impact in the broader community. If we don't begin to have that impact within an individual, within a home, connecting to lots of children that we can't connect to, I don't think we'll see a sustainable change. And I think globally what we're worried about is how do we finance the HIV epidemic, how do we make this sustainable? And I think really thinking about what families can bring and the sort of punch they bring to the little things we do by implementing them at home, not with the one child you've intervened with, but the 3 other children in the home. So I think we really need to not think about HIV ending, we need to think about HIV evolving. 1 in 3 children in Africa live with an HIV-infected parent. That's not going to go away for the continent quickly. So I think we need to not be excited about ending investment. We have to start thinking smartly about what investments are needed now to stop a second generation of HIV-infected children. I think we need to recognize that HIV has been stigmatized for a really long time, and by stigmatizing HIV-infected parents, we were also stigmatizing or HIV-infected people, we were stigmatizing HIV-infected parents. And I think one of the most important changes we can make is to start formally recognizing that children thrive only in relationships. So they need parents, caregivers, and families to have a lasting effect on their development. And until we start to recognize that HIV-infected parents, caregivers, and families make a huge contribution within that development of the child, we start to shift how we see what community does. And I think at the moment in ending pediatric HIV, parents are probably the least used and one of the most powerful weapons we have to make a lasting difference for children.